Turtle, green sea turtle. This is about a sub-adult. It's not a fully grown green. This right here, on the other hand, belongs to a full-grown loggerhead sea turtle. Now this carapace is a bit dried out because we've had it for so long. We will get to compare it to some loggerheads when we get to see the turtles later. Hopefully we'll get to see our full-size loggerhead if she's moving around. Her name's Snooky. She weighs about 330 pounds. And then right here, I have a Hawksbill Sea Turtle. So this is that little Caribbean guy I mentioned very briefly at the last station. Now on the back of these turtles, on their carapaces, are things called scutes. S-C-U-T-E-S. Now, scutes are made out of keratin, the same material as our fingernails. They're very flimsy, brittle, they break apart pretty easily. What they'll do is they'll grow up on the carapace and then they'll just shed off. They'll also do this on the underside also. Now, can anybody tell me what they think a big difference is between the Hawksbill scutes and the greens and the loggerheads? Well, some people may say size, which is true. There's also the different serrated edges on the turtles. But the primary difference I'm looking for is the pattern design in the Hawksbill. So the Hawksbill is the only sea turtle that has overlapping scutes. Whereas you can see on the green and the loggerheads, they're more so in sections, as you can kind of tell. Because of that pretty design, it makes the Hawksbill a high target for illegal trafficking and poaching, stuff like that. Right here, I have part of a rib from a sea turtle. Now, unlike us, where our ribs are in the front on our stomach side of the body, the ribs of a sea turtle are actually fused to the carapace itself. Now, you can still see some of the skeletal attachments inside this one, but the rib would kind of go in there somewhat like that, not in exact position. And so if a boat were to strike and crack the carapace, there's a good chance it could crack a rib also. Very bad for the turtle. Right here is part of what we call the plastron. It's part of the underside of the turtle. I don't think I'm holding this upright to my body, but you get the idea. So the plastron, you may notice from this picture, the bones aren't completely fused together. This allows for some flexation and breathing in the ocean. We have to be very careful when handling the turtles that we don't push up with our fingertips too hard on the plastron, because if you push it up super hard, there is a possibility that the plastron can puncture organs on the inside of the turtle. So we're always super careful when handling turtles here. Another thing I have are some bones of the flippers of the turtles. As you can see, they're very porous. They're lightweight. It makes it for easy swimming for the turtles. They're also very brittle. You have to be careful when handling turtles also that we don't let them smack their flippers on the side of their tanks or any other objects, because they could break their flipper. They could even dislocate their shoulder if they put enough force into the movement. Right here I have a skull of a full-size loggerhead. I'll put it here for some comparison. Now, I'll pick one of you two out, only because it's about the same size as your head. But it's an easy question. Do you think the brain inside here is larger or smaller than your brain? Smaller? You're absolutely right. So the sea turtle's brain goes right in this little hole.
Oh, wow.
So, well, they're smart for their species, but compared to you, they're not going to be acing your math test anytime soon. So, but they are pretty smart for who they are. And right in here is where the salt glands would go. That helps the sea turtle process the salt in the ocean, and the excess salt is excreted out the eye. Does anybody recognize what shell this belongs to? Box turtle? You're right. It's a very common land turtle in the States. The difference between one of these and one of these, since they're on land and they're on water, they have feet, they have flippers. And a fun fact about them is that their feet and head can retract in their shell when they get scared, for instance. A sea turtle cannot do that. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, we're going to head down to this next cubicle of glass.